Yeah, so the UK police have told Nigerian women that they should stop reporting their husbands. Now, in this video, I will be telling you why your marriage would end in divorce if you guys have decided to move to the UK as a couple, whether based on student visa or based on work visa. And you also know so many things. So this video is for informative purposes and for educational purposes only, so you will learn. Yeah. You will learn. So without wasting much of our time, first off, when you're coming to the UK, there are so many things that will become a shocker to you. Yeah, that's why I created my channel, so that I can let people know about the way things go on in the diaspora. And also, if you're preparing to come, you are well informed and nothing comes to you as a shocker, if you understand. So you're well informed, although there's nothing like you experiencing things by yourself, but at least this makes you informed on what to expect, at least. So life in Nigeria is very much different from the way it is here in the UK. And in terms of work, in terms of socializing, in terms of the way husband and wife behave in Nigeria, in terms of the way the cultural differences and the law. Yeah, the law here favors the women the most. If a guy and a woman complains about a certain issue evolving or revolving around relationship, there's likelihood that they will believe the woman more before they believe the guy. They would even give the woman more listening ears than giving the guy a listening ear. So yeah, so if your wife is convincing you, or you have the conviction to go to the UK with your family, maybe just you and your wife, or you and your wife and your kids, there are some things you will learn from this video, that you will need to sit down, like have a sit down with your wife before you guys make the final decision of moving. This even comes even before the application, you understand? Now, the first reason why your marriage will likely end in divorce shortly after you guys move to the UK is bills. Now, I know you say, yeah, we've been sorting out bills in Nigeria, so it's not a big deal. Yes, it is a big deal here. Now, the reason why it's a big deal here is for the average family with kids to live moderately in the UK, the wife and the husband has to work. Yes. So if your wife is a full housewife in Nigeria, or she owns a business, it is high time you start preparing her mind that when we get to the UK, I'm not the only one that will work. You would also have to work so that we can manage the family's expenses. Now, let me tell you why. First off, the cost of rent alone for a family with kids cannot be paid only by the husband. In Nigeria, you can stay as a family of 4 or 5 or even 3. You can stay in a moderate room and parlor, apartment, and you guys can be okay. Remember also that you pay your rent in Nigeria yearly. So things are, a bit okay. You can prepare yourself as a husband. Okay, I'm going to have my rent paid in November. You can start preparing yourself from January. But here in the UK, it is entirely different. Your rent is paid monthly. So if you're earning, for example, £2,000 and your house rent is around £1,500, you will not be able to shoulder that bill alone, because you have other expenses you have to pay. So if your wife is thinking that, okay, I was a full housewife in Nigeria, that means I'm going to be a full housewife here. Nah. Because of the bills you guys have to pay, especially when you come, fine, you won't pay school fees, at least if your children are still in primary and secondary school. But if you want to live comfortably, you want to pay your, telephone bills, food and everything, and your house rent, the bills have to be splitted. Fine, you as a man, you will pay majority of the bills. Maybe if your bill is 100%, you pay 70, she pays 30, or she pays 40, you pay 60, depending on who is earning more. That is another factor I want to bring into this. Depending on who is earning more. In Nigeria, most of the time, because the man is the man somehow earns more, at least most of the time. But here in the UK, you'll be surprised that it is even the women that earn more money than the men. Yeah, because of the kind of jobs that are here, it favors women more than the men. Now, the second is you would have to do more shift to meet your ends meet. So, as a man, as a woman, you will have to do more. In Nigeria, we do Monday to Friday. Then we say TGIF, Saturday, Sunday, we rest, and prepare for Monday. It's not different. It's different here, rather. So here in the UK, you can't afford to have unnecessary days off because of the bills you have to pay. Imagine, for example, you have a house rent of 1,500 to pay, and you decide that, okay, I want to be working only from Monday to Fridays. I don't want to work Saturday and Sunday. You and your wife make that decision, or made that decision. Now, it now turns out that the job or the shift they are giving you from Monday to Fridays are not enough to cover your expenses. At some point, you will need to add those days back just so that you can meet up to pay for rent. And most of the time when people hear, what's this, big deal about rent? After all, is it not just rent? Can't we just focus on rent? Nah, it's not just that. So you have to pay rent, and you will likely want to be, doing some investment. You likely want to save up some money also. So you can't just make your money and pour it to the landlord, if you understand what I mean. So that's that. 2, because you guys are trying to keep up with your expenses, it makes the husband and wife to do more shift. And because they are doing more shift, they no longer have time for themselves. The day that is your off, your wife might have job that day. So basically, you are going to be at home alone that day. The day that your wife is going to be on leave, you might not be on leave. So basically, she is only going to spend her leave. She's going to spend her leave alone, while you two will likely spend your leave alone. Except you guys, really understand the work system and you know how to go about it. So because of the bills you guys have to pay, at some point, someone has to shift for another. At some point, you guys don't have time for yourself, so to say. Now, the next one here is the solicited advice that, different people get, when they are passing through, challenges in their marriages. So since I've arrived at the UK, I've heard, trust me, iti translating, my ears are filled up. I've heard all sorts. So different marriages, having different issues. And the funny thing, or the most amazing thing that shocks me, is the fact that these people that are passing through these challenges are seeking counsel from the wrong people. Imagine you that has a car, you're seeking counsel from somebody that has never, owned a car. When your wife is having, some misunderstanding between she and her husband, and somehow, she seeks counsel in somebody she thought was married, and the person say, why would you take that nonsense from him? This, that. After all, you are the one making the money. You bring more money to the table. Why would he talk to you like that? And she gets that into her brain. And the next time you guys are having issues, she tells you that, after all, I'm the one bringing more money to the table. Why will you talk to me like that? Why will you say such nonsense? Blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, you as a traditional man, I'm like, am I the one she's talking to? Before you know, everything goes, ablaze, and, you guys just, decide that, okay, I can't take this anymore. So, it's high time you have a one-on-one, especially if your wife is somebody that, the kind of job she does in Nigeria is not a stressful job. She's comfortable, she's okay, she can tell or call the office days and days that she will be on, and days that she won't come to the office. You need to discuss with her that here is a totally different scenario. Work needs to be done just so that the family expenses can be maintained. I hope this video is able to help you. I hope this video is able to help someone that is, trying to know how things are here in the UK. And I hope, you would learn on how to apply this to your life. I'll see you guys in the next one.